Cozy living, back with the Batman robe. I hope this goes well.
On my own, cruising through the palms. I'm a rough rider, catch me in my zone. White coupe like a pale horse, light coupe going light force.
Greetings and salutations. Welcome back to the Tune Up. How you doing? I hope everything's going great in your life and more. Okay. Seen a whole bunch of comments. Been harassed in the DMs. Been bombarded with a whole bunch of stuff lately. The demand is higher than ever. Don't get it twisted. I'm very grateful for that. I'm grateful that y'all want to see more. It's just been a lot to manage because of how much I've been working lately. So I am sorry for the pacing of everything. But thank you for the interest. I'm actually really overwhelmed, really. I didn't think that, it still just shocks me that the channel is growing as much as it is. So to see that people want so much and they want it so frequently is very, very humbling and very, very, in a sense, rewarding. I'm beyond grateful that so many people want to see so much right now. And I am doing my best to get it to you. Seen stuff for Jessie Reyes. Not too big on her, but of course, I give everything an open mind. Same thing with HOUW Johnson. Not really a fan of his stuff either, but hey, open mind for everything. Following this, you're gonna get some Muse. We're gonna start Hamilton. I'm gonna go back to Gerard Way's Hesitant Alien. I'm just planning out how the rest of the suggestions are gonna go, and then we're almost at episode 200, so a whole bunch of stuff is going crazy. James Blake's album, Future's album, Ariana's singles, the new Weeknd single. Tyga's got something new. There's a lot of new music right now. But for right now, these purposes, this suggestion right here, I don't know how, but they found me. 1981 EP. I have the slightest bit of knowledge about these guys. I've been told Dallin Weeks, and I hope I'm saying his name right. This is his new project, and I really didn't understand why I was getting this request so much. And then when I saw that name, because of all the backlash from the Pretty Odd shit, that's when I was like, oh, that's where, this core fan base is coming from, because they, y'all love that man. Y'all stick with him, y'all rock with him the long way. So I saw that and I was like, all right, for sure. Again, this is really my first taste, so I don't know what to expect. I don't know what sound they're going for, but hey, open ears, open mind, open heart for everything. Shout out Zachary Campbell. Also, right before we get into it, thank you so much for the support on TMS. You can still purchase it on Bandcamp. You can stream it on SoundCloud right now. Working to get it up on the major services right now. I'm working so I have my own artist page so that everything comes to me. Nobody confuses me with anybody else. But really, truly thank you so much for the support on that. That was absolutely crazy. I've been hit 1,000 views, so I'm really excited for all of that. I'm very excited to share the album with you. The EP is almost done. I'm excited. So, enough about me and all my endeavors. Let's get into I Don't Know How, But They Found Me, 1981. Number 1, Introduction, which is only 30 seconds, going into number 2, Choke.
I don't know how, but they found me. Presented by None You Jerk Records. And as always, when you hear this sound, turn the page.
Alright, initial thoughts. I can kind of see how he influenced Pretty Odd. Definitely is reminding me a little bit of early Panic, like the theatrics are there. I don't know. Initial thoughts is really just, it's feeling like it's not my cup of tea. But, I got 4 other tracks. But so far, I'm not engaged. It's not really catching me. It's not really holding my attention. I'm kind of bopping along because it does remind me of what I enjoyed from the Panic releases. And it reminds me of what I did like from, the Muse stuff that I know of. Not everything that I know from Muse. Because like I said on the video, I've only heard a couple albums from Muse. That part is cool. That part's fine. I don't mind that. But with bands in general not being my go-to selection for music, or my cup of tea in general. Having done them so much, you know, started out as engaging, started out as something new, something that I hadn't done. But now that I've done it so much, you know, I kind of look to be shocked instead of, you know, sitting here and bopping along. So that's kind of why I really did enjoy the Nothing But Thieves album, because I wasn't expecting to love it like I did. Because I was like, oh, here we go with another band. But they had a quality about them that was different than all the stuff that I had heard before. And it was different than all the stuff that I was used to hearing when somebody would suggest a band. So I'm hoping that this can regain my interest, because this first song isn't really doing much for me. Like, again, I had a cool little vibe of it. Like, oh yeah, that's like Pretty Odd, and that's like Muse, and okay, I see, like, you know, he's still got some of that Panic theme and his approach to music and how he's delivering it. But again, that's not my usual listen. I tell people all the time, R&B is always gonna be my favorite genre. Like, if you can give me something smooth, something I can groove to, then we there. So I'm always looking for stuff like that. But like I said, I always keep an open mind with whatever people want me to listen to. So early going into the track, not really into it so much, but hey, they could win me over. Number 3, Social Climb. Okay, here we go. Much better. Social Climb, a big step up from Choke. I felt like the cymbal was a little... I felt like that cymbal wasn't needed all over the beat. Maybe just for the hook, but... besides the production feeling a little messy, feeling a little disjointed, the retro vibe of it, I think, was strong enough to give it that sway that makes it really ride when you listen to it. Like, I really like the feel of it. The vocals were really dope. I think his vocal delivery was really sick and very, very intriguing. It reminded me of The Darkness, Nine Inch Nails, a little bit of Queen with all of the harmonies at the end with the vocals. So, yeah, cool track, cool track. Big step up from Choke. Coming up on the last bit of tracks, number 4, Bleed Magic. Really reminded me of Muse right there. This kind of has a Killer's vibe to it too. That's pretty interesting. Alright, so that one was, I think, a bit more experimental. I did like the Killer's vibe that I got from it as it went on. Definitely reminded me like Sex on Fire. Again, I think that one's on par with Social Climb, but I don't think it was as catchy. The retro vibe is still very much there, but I feel like that one was cleaner in production, but not as strong as Social Climb was as a song as a whole, if that makes sense. I'm not wowed at all, but those two songs were enjoyable. Number 5, Absinthe. I really don't know how to say that word. I've heard abstinent, and I'm like, I don't know where that other letter is in the word, so Absinthe is what I'm going with. I hope that's correct. I said it right. Okay, we finally got one. That I think is the defining track. If I was a fan and I was showing this to somebody, I would show them that record first. And lastly, number 6, Do It All the Time.
We're taking over the world. One time. No reason why I'm only doing anything I want to do, because I do it all the time. I'm taking your innocence.
Banger right here. Okay. Alright.
Just fun, do it all the time.
That little trumpet flare at the end, and you know, taking the tape out. Y'all know I love when that happens. Like, okay, the thing is officially over, so we're taking the tape out, we're stopping the CD, whatever it is. I love that. For the most part, it was okay. Cool closer. I really only like half of it. Like, that's the sad thing. Like, actually, I feel like the only 2 tracks that'll stick with me are Absinthe and Do It All the Time. I'm not counting the introduction. That's just the intro. But yeah, as much hype as this EP was given, I gotta say I don't feel like it lived up to it, but I can see why they have the fan base that they do. I can see why they've attracted so many people, and that's just not on having a former Panic member as a part of it. There's quality here. I did love the retroness of it. I love, because with me, anything vintage is dope. If you can take me back to classic sounding music, or if you can really throw me back into one of my favorite periods of sound, then, you know, I'm definitely more inclined to really, really vibe with what you're giving. Especially if you do it right. Oh, if you do it right. Like what Janelle Monáe did with Make Me Feel. Like, that was such a great homage to Prince, and just that style of funk. Like, oh, it's beautiful. Beautiful music. If I enjoy something that I normally don't listen to, or something that something that's suggested, or something that somebody told me about, if I enjoy something of that nature, I'm definitely more inclined to check it out in the future. Maybe not right away, but, you know, I'll go to it like, okay, yeah, they had this one song that I liked, or, yeah, I know about such and such. Okay, this is new. Let me check it out from them. Let me see what's going on. And 9 times out of 10, they usually improve, and I end up loving them. Look what happened with Post Malone. Like, I was not feeling anything in the early goings, and everybody's like, you hate Post Malone, you're not open-minded to Post Malone. I'm like, it's not the case at all, but feel how you feel. Now, the new Sunflower record, well, it's not new, but Sunflower's popping, but Wow, the single Wow, killed it. And I already loved Spoil My Night and taking shots off of beer bongs and Bentleys, but Wow, that's the record. That is the hardest Post Malone song I've ever heard. And, you know, that might be a basic-ass opinion from somebody like me, but, I mean, people are still mad at me over other videos. Like, people are commenting about this AJR video right now as I'm recording. So, I mean, can't please everybody. But yeah, I didn't really enjoy the EP that much. Like I said, I don't think it lived up to the hype that it had, but it was still enjoyable enough for me to give them a second chance, to give them a second look, to peek into what they might release this year or in the future. Like, Absinthe and Do It All the Time were very enjoyable songs, especially Absinthe. I love the melody that went on throughout the hook. And again, I love how that song just became its own entity and really had its own energy. Do It All the Time was definitely one of those retro bangers that I would throw on at a party. And I feel like those are the main 2 songs that really just solidified I Don't Know How's identity as these newcomers, if that makes sense. I didn't really care for the other tracks. Giving them a full listen and all of that, like you saw, they reminded me of stuff, but I'm not talking about them right now. I'm talking about the other songs that I actually really did feel. So I'm hoping that whatever they put out in the future catches my ear. You know, I'll definitely keep an eye out. But, you know, I didn't love the EP, but I did walk away with 2 tracks that I did enjoy fully. That's going to do it for this suggestion. Like I said in the beginning, there's a lot on the way. Like, share, subscribe, the whole 9. You know the bitch, you know what it is. It's Jared O'Brien, and I'm out.